3 NFT projects that you can buy for an almost guaranteed profit if you can get in on the mint. Diving right into it, the first project that we are going to be looking at is by Collider Craftswork, and their project is called Cypher. Right off the bat, right, if you go on the website, you can see that the graphics that they're doing is really good. And you know, in the NFT space right now, everyone's doing 3D hyper-realistic graphics. So a lot of times, even if you mint it or even if you buy it, maybe the price might go down because everyone's doing the same thing. So what makes this project more unique, in my opinion, is that they actually have a lot of AAA game experience. Looking at the art, it's solid, right? Like this is something that you would see in Call of Duty level, Mortal Kombat style graphics. So basically, this is a gaming studio that has worked with many games in the past and has created many characters. So some games that they worked on: Street Fighter, Assassin's Creed, Gotham Knights, which is Batman, Mortal Kombat 11. They have like 80 employees, people who have been doing this for years and years and years. Just from the quality of the type of clients that they have worked with in the past, it's pretty legit, right? We've seen this time and time and again. These production studios who do like design, 3D and things like that, they want to get into creating their own IP. They want to get into the NFT space instead of only creating IPs or content for other publishers like Mortal Kombat, for example. And so this is their first step. I believe it's their first step into this space. So they're not necessarily like crypto NFT people. They're more of a traditional gaming studio diving into this space, which is cool because anybody can really pick up the business acumen of NFTs if you give them enough time. So I'm guessing that what they're gonna do is they're gonna create like an avatar, which, you know, you have a special avatar that has, you know, some designs on the skin. You layer on top different NFTs, which will be clothes on top of that person, right? A visual wallet, meaning, you know, you have your character, maybe you're gonna buy some pants, some new shoes, a hat, a gun, and whatever it is, and you probably stack it on top of your character. Doing a little more research into this project, it's not very clear on where exactly you're gonna use this character and what metaverse, right? Is it gonna be in Decentraland? Is it gonna be in other games, right? There's not, you know, a clear roadmap. Most likely, because they already have so much experience, they will probably figure out a way to import this specific 3D character and all the NFTs that go with it in many different worlds. That's just my guess, and I think that would be the smarter move. You can imagine like in a world where a lot of these brands are creating these type of avatars and like NFTs that you can port into any other world, right? Not just in like one game, but take it into like Call of Duty, take it into Decentraland or whatever the case is. I think that's the play here. Another thing I really like about this team is like they've been doing this 3D stuff for a long time and their entire team is doxed, right? You can see everyone's face, you can go on their LinkedIn profiles, their Instagrams and whatever they have, right? Definitely a big plus because for someone to put their company name on the line and their personal well-being on the line, most likely they're not gonna rug pull because it's like that would look terrible for their business and nobody would wanna work with them, right? I don't think you have to fear the rug pull, it's just can they really pull this off? Can they create their own IP in their own worlds? That's another story. And right now, if you go on their Twitter page, there's not really much information that you can dive into because they're relatively new on Twitter, right? December 2021. So no Discord for now, right? No whitelist for now, but I'm sure if you just follow them, follow along, and then there probably will be an opportunity to whitelist in the future. So the next project that we're gonna be looking at is something that's brand new and hasn't even minted yet. So you definitely keep it on your radar and it's gonna be imaginary ones. So right off the bat, looking on their website, they actually have this interesting 3D art. And like I've been saying, you know, all these 3D companies are coming into the space doing NFTs, right? This is becoming the standard. Basically you have this like character, this invisible type of character walking and these balloons. That's pretty much it, right? So there's not much information about what is the IP of this. It's a brand new IP. There's not much info on, is this gonna be a game? How are you gonna port this in different metaverses? Is that even an option? Not too much information, which I guess because it's coming soon, these are all just teasers for now. And if you kind of go on their Twitter page, it's the same thing. They're really just capturing the audience's attention by having good design and good art and having influencers talk about it. So not a lot of substance quite yet, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to build it. It just means that it's just not quite there. When you have a project like this where there's not a roadmap, there's not much utility announced yet, the next thing you gotta do is you wanna look at who are the founders of this specific NFT project. And the good part is like the founders are doxed. They run different companies. I actually used these services before. So like Offio, when I used to do like other video content stuff, I used this in the past. It's just an easy way to make animations for video. And they have a motions graphics design company as well in Singapore. And they do design, 3D design for, you know, other brands like Mobile Legends, for example. I would say in 2022, it's like the meta right now is everyone's doing like these really good designs because you have like these real design agencies coming in. But the risk when it comes to the long term is going to be, you know, can they build utility? Can they have a community? Like, what is the purpose of having this NFT? Is it just to flex? Because a lot of times, you know, the art itself isn't enough to like command high prices. So you definitely want to look out for utility in the future. In general, when you're looking at the short term, if you're thinking about flipping, it's a pretty easy flip in my opinion because it's going to be hype based on just the 3D graphics of it, and you know, the price is gonna pump up, and then whether it can stay there or if it's gonna pump down, that's a whole different story. But if you can get in on the mint, it's almost like a guaranteed profit in my opinion. So follow along, see when they have whitelist, when they have a Discord, make sure you join that and try to get on that whitelist if you're trying to flip, if that's what you're trying to do. Okay, and the next project that we have is gonna be a blue chip one. It's already out and it's already a little bit expensive, but I wanna share it with you, and that is going to be Doodles. Probably out of the budget for most people. It's gonna be 11 ETH, which is a lot of money, and you kind of see these characters, very simple, very clean, really good color palettes. Now, the reason why I want to bring up this project is because I wanna dissect, you know, what exactly made this such a hit, because I feel like there's a lot to learn. You could apply these lessons to any upcoming projects that we might talk about in the future. Some of the co-creators of Doodles, they were actually pretty involved with another NFT project called CryptoKitties. And you know, a few years ago, CryptoKitties were like all the rage in NFTs. And so this is one of their newer projects, and they teamed up with this artist called Burnt Toast. So Burnt Toast has been doing his thing for a while. He has this very specific style that is very commercially viable, where he's worked with clients like Google and stuff like that. I feel like when you look at the art itself, not just like the Doodle character, but like this guy's art aesthetic, it's like something that guys would like, girls would like as well, and people of all ages kind of like it as well, right? It's kind of like the Cool Cats, but for like human beings instead of cats. I remember when I first saw this project, it was around 1 ETH, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, but it wasn't as compelling for me to want to buy into it because I was looking at other different things, which turned out to be a pretty big mistake in hindsight. But looking back, if I were to like analyze why I think it exploded, it's because number one, you have a really strong artist that has years of experience and has a very specific, distinct style that is very different from everything else. Number two, you have, you know, people who came from like OG crypto backgrounds, and they were able to connect this project with the right people, get it in the right hands, get the right people to promote it, and then it just catches fire, right? Because it's like advertising. It's like the more eyeballs you get, and then if you have a good product, you know, the more it grows. And I feel because Cool Cats, you know, had such a run where it opened up this category of like this style where girls and guys could like it, clean lines, more pastel colors. I think there was just like such a huge demand growing for that, that when they created this project, they were just really filling a void. Because like at the time, not many people could afford a Cool Cat when it was like 5 to 10 ETH, right? It's quite expensive. And then this was like, oh, I can't afford a Cool Cat, let me just get a Doodle. And then a Doodle was like 1 ETH, and then everyone bought into that. The value of a Cool Cat, which is like 10, 11 ETH. And taking a quick moment to talk about the art, very clean, nice color palettes. The way they did the background is quite unique. And like these characters are very distinct, right? And the interesting thing is like when we talk about like the custom Doodles or like the ones that are a little more rare, I think they're really hitting all the elements of like crypto culture. Like these are all kind of originated from CryptoPunks in the past. So they have like the aliens, they have the apes, they have these cats. The skeletons actually is like a quite cool new addition. And then looking even deeper, you have like all these different type of characters. The art itself is very strong. It's very simple, very distinctly recognizable. All the unique rare ones, also very like attractive, right? So if you're a whale and you have a bunch of money, you would feel comfortable buying into this product because the art stands out by itself, and then everyone believes that it's good, then it becomes a thing. So if you're looking into buying a Doodle, obviously 10 ETH is quite a bit. So what I would do is I would actually wait for this price to drop if there's ever a bear market in the NFT space, because like, you know, this place fluctuates so much. And if you look at their team, they're always building stuff, they're always adding new utility on top of this, and they're getting a lot of celebrities to talk about it, right? So if you ever find a Doodle at the price of like, you know, less than 5 ETH, maybe consider buying, because they're building a solid project with a lot of successful whales in the crypto space buying into this, and they're gonna hold on to the Doodle for a long time. So that might be a great entry point. If you're buying it when it's pumped up like this, you know, definitely take a big risk, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. So those are gonna be the projects for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one.